Whenever there's a problem in the UK at the moment, there really is only one culprit, and that seems to be the Home Office. The latest crisis seems to be the Home Office regulatory powers over our social media. And Apple, Meta, that's Facebook, and WhatsApp are all getting irritated about the level of security and how this is going to be controlled. And the this sort of censorship which we are now living under, this is the sort of thing we would find in one of the dictatorships in the world, Iran or Russia. It's not the sort of thing we expect from the UK. And either we've got a choice. If you want security on your internet, then you're supposed to put in a password. Well, we know that passwords which are less than 32 digits or 32 characters are practically pointless. So we can protect the country from data which is encrypted, or we can protect the country with encryption, or we can bully the country with encryption and with passwords and this nonsense. That's what we've been doing in banking, by the way. So when you speak to your bank, you go through what is called security. It's not security. It's rather like those silly little pictures that you get when you go on certain internet sites. Suddenly you've got to identify all the hydrants or all the road crossings or all the buses. And you do it many, many times, and eventually you get through if you're lucky. Sometimes you don't. Well, that's simply a way for another computer to read your data, or more. And it's got nothing to do with your ability to identify objects. It's just a time-wasting thing while the system investigates. And the password is much the same, and you're kept on the phone while you're told all this sort of data protection. It's for your protection. This is where the government and organizations, telephone companies, banks, and so on have perverted language so they can make their bullying sound as if it's for your benefit. It's a passive-aggressive form of attention-seeking. It does very little for us. And as I say, if you want a password which is going to be secure, it has to be significantly longer than the sort that you're given in the bank and the sort that you are likely to produce on your own. And as for all that password nonsense, with so many things being password protected, I tried to sort out a pass for ULEZ and for the congestion charge in London, and it took me 2 days. I've still ended up sending a letter to the TfL because it was so confusing. I eventually got back, about 2 days later, I got back stuff on my email saying that the thing was working, but I can't get hold of it now. I can't get into it because it so confused me. I tried changing my password. I don't know what anything is anymore. And that's the point. It is maddeningly confusing, and it is utterly incomprehensible to anybody who isn't routinely involved in that particular job. For those people, of course, yeah, this is what we do. For ordinary people, when we come to a new level of so-called security, it doesn't protect us. We have to write it down somewhere. And it's simply an opportunity to bully. And we're still seeing now the burden of that bullying being carried out directly by the Home Office and, of course, by their patsy, the Digital Culture, Media and Sport organisation, and the effort to do the sort of this nonsense online safety bill, with the Investigatory Powers Act, we're going to crucify our media. And not only are we going to be struggling to accommodate Brexit in our lives, we're going to be struggling to accommodate the new powers of our oppressive Home Office. If it can't deal with migrants, how is it supposed to deal with the so many more ordinary people who are living in the UK, who are using social media, if all of that has to be monitored and policed as well to within an inch of its life? Surely the British idea is to assume that everybody takes responsibility for themselves, and that the law and the government only gets involved when things fall to pieces. We're turning this round, and we're in a very dangerous position.